Hey guys, what's up? We had a follower write into us and ask us for a video on anterior pelvic tilt or APT and posture. So we're going to go through what is APT, what causes APT, and then some corrective exercises to help correct APT if it's excessive. Alright, first off, what the hell is APT anyway? Anterior pelvic tilt really just refers to the angle of the pelvis with relation to the thigh bones and the rest of the body. So our pelvis can sit in different orientations. An anterior pelvic tilt is when my pelvis tilts anteriorly towards the front of my body and it affects the rest of my body. Alright, it should be noted that about 75 to 85% of Americans walk around with some degree of anterior pelvic tilt. They're healthy, they have no symptoms, there's nothing wrong with that. It's when it gets excessive that there's a problem. So, what can cause excessive anterior pelvic tilt? With our sedentary lifestyle, weak core musculature, ass and abs. And if you haven't watched that video, go watch ass and abs. If our ass and abs are not engaged, it allows our tightened hip flexors and our tightened lower back muscles to pull our pelvis into this anterior pelvic tilt. So, what do we need to do? We need to stretch and loosen our hip flexors. We need to increase the activity of our ass and our abs. So, what are the exercises that can help us with that? Alright guys, so number one, if you're looking at trying to fix and correct an anterior pelvic tilt, you need to understand what a posterior pelvic tilt feels like. So, kind of went through a little bit of this in my ass and abs video, go ahead and watch that, but you need the easiest way to understand this and let your body recognize it and get familiar with it, which you'll need to do to correct an anterior pelvic tilt, is to lay flat on the ground with your knees bent. If I'm laying flat on the ground with my knees bent and I still have a space in between because of my anterior pelvic tilt, my back in the ground, all I want you to do is focus on doing that pelvic tilt and pressing your lower back against the ground. Okay, now we're going to release and increase that space again. Then we're going to press the lower back against the ground, right? Through that, you're going to understand when you engage your abs, press your lower back against the ground, your pelvis is tilting posteriorly. That will be important in most of these exercises. Alright, first thing, we're going to start with some soft tissue work, some self-myofascial release. Find yourself a lacrosse ball, a softball, anything you can get that will kind of target this area in here. Ball's a little bit better than a long roller just because it's a little bit more targeted. You're going to put this ball on the ground, lay down on top of it, and target areas anywhere from about an inch lateral of your belly button all the way to kind of the outside on this soft part outside your thigh bone. Fish around there, up, down, try to stay relaxed on that musculature. Find some tough spots and release it. Alright, after some soft tissue work, we're going to go into some stretches. So I'm going to show you a couple here. First one, you're going to use a bench, a couch, a wall, whatever it's going to be. You're going to put that knee on the ground. We're going to press into that pelvic tilt posteriorly. Right? So you don't want to be continued in this anterior pelvic tilt in this position. We're going to posteriorly tilt our pelvis. So how do we do that? Engage ass and abs and try to press through. And the closer my butt gets to my heel, the more intense of a stretch that I'm going to get. So this is too much for you. Step away a little bit, but always remember, try to keep that pelvis in that posteriorly tilted position. Alright, the next one I'm going to show you is just a simple lunge stretch. So we're going to go into a lunge position, put that back knee onto the ground. Once again, focusing on that posterior pelvic tilted position. Right? We don't want to stretch in an anterior pelvic tilt. All you're going to do from here, if you don't feel that stretch, is come through and press yourself forward a little bit, maintaining that posterior pelvic tilt. You're going to start to feel that large muscle right in front here. You can increase this stretch a little bit by putting your arms straight up in the air, maintaining that posterior pelvic tilt, and leaning forward slightly. Alright, our next corrective exercise is going to be the glute bridge. So we need more activity to turn your butt on. So you're going to use a bench for this again. You're going to support your shoulders on it. All you're going to do is press through your glutes, through your heels, and squeeze at the top. Squeeze ass and abs at the top. Again, if you're in an anterior pelvic tilt and you're compensating and you're just shooting your tummy up to the sky without engaging, it's not going to help you. It's not going to correct anything. So think ass and abs, posterior pelvic tilt like we went through, pressing through, squeeze it. It should be a straight line all the way through my body. Alright, next one is the plank. So a lot of people do this improperly and maintain their anterior pelvic tilt when they're in the plank position. That is not the correct way to do a plank. So you're going to get onto your forearms, feet in push-up position, and you're going to go into that posterior pelvic tilt. Squeeze your ass and abs. you'll feel a big difference in the amount of engagement that you feel, especially in your abdominals, when you engage both your ass and your abs and you go into a posterior pelvic tilt. Those all put together will help you eliminate that anterior pelvic tilt that you have, stretch and engage the proper musculature, and help rebalance your pelvis. Good luck.